Intellectually, I think you're at the beginning of the attempt to engage the challenge of modernity. By that I mean to draw an analogy, and only an analogy, to the experience that Protestants went through at the last turn of the century. The historian Paul Johnson, the British historian Paul Johnson, tried to describe what the challenge of modernity was at that time, and he said it was four things coming together around the same period of time. One was the rise of the historical critical method, particularly out of Germany, that was beginning to question the sources of Scripture and beginning to question the interpretation of history itself. So that was one thing that was hitting the popular mind. The second thing was Darwin and evolution. Even though that happened earlier, Johnson says it began to be experienced in the middle-brow mind around the same period of time. The third thing was urbanization, and with it, the process of encountering diversity. But the thing he said defined this challenge was Einstein's theory of relativity, which in the popular mind and in the press was condensed to the phrase, everything is relative. Well, that phrase, everything is relative, constituted the great challenge intellectually to those Protestants who were trying to think about the faith. And it produced a V shape in history. One arm of that became mainline Protestantism. Another arm of that became conservative fundamentalism. Now, I have obviously generalized a great deal, but I think that's a generally good picture.